Hello everybody and welcome to my series where I'm going to make a new old school account, get on mobile, grab that 1 week free trial, and show you guys how you can build up your account to earning bonds like it's nothing in that 1 week. So first off, of course, I'm going to show you how to redeem that 1 week free trial. What you need to do is load up Old School Mobile on a new free to play account, click that little bond icon that's under the settings menu, click buy membership, and then when it pops up, you're going to have the option of like 1 month, 3 month, 12 month with 1 week free trial. So select any of them. I just selected the 1 month one, then go into your Google Play, click subscriptions, and then you can cancel your subscription to Old School RuneScape, so it will not pay for the month's subscription after your 1 week trial is up. It should work exactly the same on all Apple devices, and it is worth noting that I think you can only redeem this once per Google Play or iTunes account, so you would have to use another phone or another account if you wanted to redeem this on an extra account. Either way, let's get right into the video. We are in Lumbridge on our brand new account with the 1 week free trial on it, and I don't want this to just be a series where I show you a couple of money makers and tell you to grind your ass off to make the bonds just so you can get more membership to pay for the bonds. So we're going to be doing a lot of building up your account to get to the point where you can kind of passively make the bonds while playing. And so there will be a lot of questing in this first part, and if any of you are confused about quest guides, I'll leave a couple links in the description to some of the quests I do, and I'll try to explain it as best as possible in the video. So here in Lumbridge, something we can do right off the bat is a quest called the Restless Ghost, which will get us some early levels in prayer, so let's get that going. We're also going to start a quest called Rune Mysteries, which you can start on the 2nd floor of the Lumbridge Castle, and we'll just kind of do this as we play along since you have to deliver a package to a lot of locations that we'll come across just on our journey. Like I said, check the description. I'll try to put quest guides for all the quests that I do here in there. So this part of the quest requires you to take a skull from an altar, and the skeleton will come and attack you, and now that you have it, you don't actually need to kill the skeleton, fortunately. And for those who are new players, you might not know this, but in your spellbook there's a spell called Lumbridge Home Teleport. You can use it once every 30 minutes and it will teleport you to Lumbridge. No runes required, so this is a great get out of jail free card if you're in the middle of nowhere and don't know what you're doing. Just use this. It's also useful for just getting to Lumbridge before you unlock the actual spell. We have now freed the spirit of the ghost, and there's the quest complete. An early 1,125 prayer XP, which gets us up to level 9. Prayer is a very important component of the game. If you're not aware, later on we're going to unlock prayers that allow us to prevent all damage taken from a certain style when activated, which will be very handy. Now, next up, I would like to go ahead and complete the Stronghold of Security. And if you did not know, here in Lumbridge, you can talk to Count Check and tell him to check your account, and then I believe you can have him teleport. Oh no, say, where can I learn more? Don't ask for that. And then he can teleport you straight to the Stronghold of Security, which is what we're going to be tackling next. You're able to get 10,000 gold from the Stronghold of Security by making it through to the 3rd floor. But first, we're going to want to head to the Grand Exchange and buy a little bit of food because the monsters in there can hit you pretty hard. So here's some stuff that we have from the start of the game that I am selling off because you won't really need it for anything, at least not with the plan we're rolling with. So let's collect that. We have 261 gold, and we're going to buy some jugs of wine, which are only 3 coins each, and they will heal you for a lot of health. I believe they heal for 10, if I'm not mistaken. They do lower your attack level, but we only have level 1 attack, so that does not matter. And now we're going to run back to the Stronghold of Security here in the Barbarian Village and go all the way down to the 3rd floor so we can get 10,000 gold. So I'm going to show my whole journey on going through here fast forwarded to people who have never done this before so that you can try to not die like I will. If you don't want to see this, you can skip ahead to the time I have listed on the screen right now, but for those who want to stay and watch this, let's get started. Going through here is pretty simple. You'll have to click through doors and answer security questions like, should I give my password to everybody I know? And I think the answers are all pretty common sense, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to get through. The real difficulty is on the 2nd and 3rd floors where the enemies will attack you. None of them can deal 10 damage in one hit, so basically every time you get hit, just drink one of those wines and you should be fine. It's a pretty easy journey all the way down to the 3rd floor. And here we are to claim our last chest. You don't need to go down to the 4th floor, you just get some extra boots for doing that. And something I did forget to mention is to claim the rewards from the Stronghold of Security, you have to have the Authenticator enabled on your account. You can do that by downloading the Authenticator app and by going to the RuneScape website, logging in, going to the account section, and setting up the Authenticator through there. It's really easy, just follow the instructions there and do it. Definitely worth it to get the 10k, it took me like 5 minutes. Something I did want to mention real quick that some of you might find useful is there are PvP worlds in old school RuneScape where people can attack each other outside of safe zones, and sometimes you can see some people killing each other, and after 1 minute the loot that gets dropped on the ground will appear to everybody. So if you stand on the square where that person died and spam click it. You can get some decent loot here. You can usually make 100,000 to 200,000 gold by doing this. When it's more populated, there was just an update so nobody's online, but when it's populated, you make a decent amount of money. So the first moneymaker we're going to be working towards will be slaying the Wintertodt boss, which is not as scary as it sounds. It's a very, very simple boss, but to tackle this we need level 50 Firemaking. So we're going to start leveling that here in Lumbridge, and since we don't have much cash right now, what we're going to do is go to the top of Lumbridge Castle, and you can light these logs here on fire and then hop worlds to do it again. So to hop worlds, you click the log out button and then just click on another world and you'll hop there, and the logs should be there again. We're going to light these all the way to 15 Firemaking. There we go, 15 Firemaking. Didn't take too long at all. And later on we're going to be buying some higher tier logs to burn to get up to 50, but now that we're done with that, we're going to go and knock out a couple more quests that are going to give us some nice early levels. So we actually need a bit more money to level up our Firemaking to 50 like I wanted to, so we are actually going to do some of that PvP world looting I told you about. So as you can see, someone just died over here. This guy's probably going to pick up most of the loot, at least more of the expensive stuff, and then after a minute, the rest of what he doesn't pick up will appear on the ground and we can scavenge it. Alright, there we go. Look at all of this food on the ground. We actually got quite lucky here. And someone else has gone onto here, and you can right click and grab stuff because the other person has what is called PID, which means they're going to be able to get the items faster than we are just because they got lucky and rolled a higher number. So you will have to compete with quite a lot of bots here if I'm being honest, but let's see how much we just got from that inventory we looted. I mean, that's 28,000 gold, so as you can see, it can be very profitable to do this, but it doesn't really get you very far in your account. So let's sell all this off and let's buy the logs we need to level our Firemaking. And there is level 30 Firemaking. We had to buy ourselves 183 oak logs to get to this level, and now we are going to start burning willow logs. We will need to buy about 535 of them, but fortunately they are actually cheaper than oak logs, so they are quite cheap to buy, and then just one more log to burn after these. Alright, here's 45 Firemaking. Now we just have to buy ourselves 295 maple logs, and we are done burning all of these logs, finally. There we go, 50 Firemaking has now been achieved. We can now enter the Wintertot's prison, which was the goal this whole time, but I did say before that I want to do some questing, so we are going to take a break from heading towards Wintertodt and do a bit of questing that'll help us in the long run. Okay, so these are the items you're going to need for the couple of quests that we're doing right now: an axe, jug of water, pot of flour, bucket of milk, an empty pot, swamp paste, and a spade. I also bought a Varrock teleport tab here so that once we're done with all of these quests we can teleport back to Varrock, because there is going to be some more stuff we have to buy from the GE. But to get to the location of all of these quests, go to the minigame list tab right here in your quest tab, and you're going to want to select Castle Wars, and you can teleport using the minigames teleport once every 20 minutes. So it is very, very useful, much like the Lumbridge home teleport, except with a lot more teleport options, some of which are locked behind certain requirements, but the one at Castle Wars is not locked at all and lets you get into the area over here on the west side of the map without crossing the ever so dangerous White Wolf Mountain. Also, it might not be a terrible idea to bring a little bit of food, like some jugs of wine, just in case something goes wrong. Alright, the first quest up is Monk's Friend, which is a very easy quest, only takes a couple minutes to finish, and you will soon see the reason we do it, and it is not because of this incredible dance party you get to be a part of. Well, I mean, it's partially because of that, but it's also because you get 2,000 woodcutting XP and 8 law runes, which boosts you from level 1 woodcutting all the way up to 13, which skips a lot of the pain of it taking much longer to chop down these trees, and it also allows us to equip a steel axe, which is the tier of axe you need to equip to get the best bonuses at Wintertodt as far as I know. There we go, the Haziel cult quest is complete. I did the evil side. I've never done this side before. I swear I'm a good boy, but there's 2,000 coins and 1,500 thieving XP, which boosts us up to 11 from level 1. An easy way to skip all those early levels, but the real reason we did this is that it will give us some museum kudos later down the line, and I will explain that all much later once we get to that point. And now for the most insane quest reward of them all, the Sea Slug quest is complete. 7,000 fishing XP. That's going to boost us from 1 fishing all the way to 24, which will come in handy a lot later down the line. That quest takes less than 10 minutes to do. All you need is 30 Firemaking to do it, and that swamp paste I told you to buy. It is that easy. There is Murder Mystery done, another quest. 2,000 coins and 1,400 crafting XP gets you from level 1 to 11 crafting. Not the most important one, but crafting will come in handy later on with a money-making method, I swear. And now we're done with all the quests in this area, so it is safe to break that Varrock teleport tab to get back to the Grand Exchange. Alright, back at the Grand Exchange, you need to buy a couple of items. Since we're going to be doing Wintertodt, we need some warm clothing. The 4 best ones I could find for our level are the wood camel top and legs. I would try to buy the polar ones first, but they were not buying. Firemaking gloves and a fire tiara. These are all wieldable at level 1 defense and hunter and everything. The other stuff that I thought I'd be able to wear was not, so that's the gear we've got. You're also going to want to buy a couple hundred jugs of wine, which is at least what I'm doing because I'm prepping to fight the Wintertodt, which you need healing for. Make sure you've got a spade, an axe, a games necklace, and a feather for these 2 quests that we're about to knock out before we go there, and then we will finally subdue the Wintertodt, I promise. One of the 2 quests we're about to do knocked out. X marks the spot. This is actually the newest quest in Old School RuneScape, and you get an antique lamp for finishing it, which we're going to put into agility, giving us 300 XP and bumping us straight up to level 4. Agility is one of the most important skills in Old School RuneScape. The higher your agility level, the faster your run energy regenerates, which is obviously super useful. Also, once you're done with that quest, talk to Veos here, and you can have him bring you to the Great Korend, which is the location of where we're going to finish up the next quest, which I've actually already finished, so I'm just going to get that reward real quick. Okay, there is the Client of Korend quest done, and you get 2 antique lamps for this, both of which give 500 XP. I'm going to put those both into agility, and that is going to get us all the way up to level 10 agility, which allows us to skip the first agility course, which is nice because it's kind of out of the way. So now that we've been to Korend, we can rub the games necklace and go to the Wintertodt camp. If you have not taken the boat to Korend with Veos, you will not be able to teleport here. Now, once you're here, you're going to want to go to like World 9 or World 11. There's a couple Wintertodt worlds. World 9 is usually the most populated, so it's the easiest to play. And now it's time to get into some Wintertodt. So here's what my inventory is going to look like while fighting the Wintertodt. I've got 8 jugs of wine, a hammer, knife, tinderbox, and axe. I know I didn't tell you to buy a hammer. That's because you can get them from this crate right here outside the Wintertodt. You can also get knives and tinderboxes and axes, but the axe is a bronze axe, so it's not very good, so you definitely want to get a steel axe. And now I'm going to show you guys just the basics of how to fight this boss. So here's a game. Starting, you always want to wait till it's dead and then start it from the beginning. Light the brazier right there, then run over here and start chopping the roots. Basically all you have to do is chop the roots and then add them to the burning brazier, and you will get points. You need at least 500 points to be able to get a crate at the end of the game, which is where you get all of your loot. So if you think you're struggling at any point during the game, you could also use a knife on your bruma roots to cut them into kindling, which makes them give 25 points each instead of 10, therefore helping you boost up. And the more points you have, the more rolls on the table you can get from each supply crate. So it's up to you whether you want to fletch or not. It will make you get less firemaking XP per hour by doing this, but some people think it's worth it for the more loot. A couple more things. Sometimes the brazier will get put out and you gotta light it back up. Sometimes it'll break and you want to walk away. When there's heavy snowfall over it, that means it's going to break. Also, sometimes you'll get hit by the Wintertodt randomly. When it deals damage to you, it'll interrupt your fletching with the logs, it'll interrupt you putting logs into the brazier, and it'll obviously deal damage to you. There's a reason I kept us only at 10 HP, and that's because it deals way less damage to you when you have 10 hit points. So just keep an eye on your health, make sure you don't die, and keep doing the Wintertodt and you can make some money. I think I'm going to do this for probably like 2 hours and see how much money we can come out with on the other side. Oh my god, I died. And see, that is why you pay attention while doing Wintertodt, kids. Oh my god. Here is the last Wintertodt we will do. Been doing it for about 2 hours. There's 22. Kill count. Probably would have gotten 1 or 2 more kills if I hadn't died there, but it is no big deal. In these 2 hours, we went from 50 firemaking all the way up to 64. As you can see, you can level firemaking very fast here, and a lot of people choose to go straight from 50 all the way to 99 straight here at Wintertodt because the loot is decent and the XP is super fast, and it's a very fast 99 you can knock out really quick. So the real reason we were doing this for these supply crates, I've saved all of them up so I can open them all here and see what kind of loot we can get from 2 hours of Wintertodt. If I get just average luck, we should be able to make a decent amount of money. Let's open up the last ones here. And wow, we got a Pyromancer garb. That's pretty rare. That's one of the Pyromancer outfit pieces, so you shouldn't expect to get one of those. I got a little bit lucky there, but let's pull out as much of this loot as we can. As you can see, I got some burnt pages, which is quite lucky, and here we go. Let's price check it and see what we got from 2 hours of Wintertodt. 150k. Man, this is not as good as it used to be. I really did think Wintertodt would be some decent money, but as far as I know, if you go all the way from 50 to 99 here, you should make about 8 to 10 million gold. Maybe we got a little bit unlucky, and your money will be higher if you're a higher level. But I just did this to get some starting cash, so it's not a big deal. If you don't want to do this, I don't blame you for skipping over this part. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be doing is getting our magic level up. Magic is insanely important on new accounts, and is required for a lot of the moneymakers I'm going to be showing. I promise they're better than Wintertodt. But pretty much you're going to want to get to at least around 45 magic at some point early on in your account, because that allows you to teleport to Camelot, Falador, Varrock, Lumbridge, and that will be super useful, along with the teleport jewelry that gets you around to a lot of places. So we're going to buy one of each color bead, yellow, white, black, and red, and use a necklace of passage, which I bought from the Grand Exchange, to teleport to the Wizard's Tower. And once you're here, you are going to go up to the top floor, and we will turn in all these beads to a wizard who will give us a quest completion that gives us magic XP. So we give the 4 beads here over to Wizard Mizgog at the top of the Wizard's Tower, and he gives us 875 magic XP and an Amulet of Accuracy, and that gets us up to 8 magic from level 1. Now we're going to go back to the Grand Exchange and make some magic happen. So what we have here is 100 Cosmic Runes, 100 Sapphire Necklaces, and a Staff of Water. That allows us to cast the level 1 enchant spell on them, which gives 17 magic XP per cast, as you can see, and we will be turning around a profit on these if my calculations are correct. Now before you do this method, make sure to go into the Grand Exchange and check the prices of these items and do the math yourself, because it does fluctuate. I originally planned to do Rings of Recoil, but those prices were not very good, but it looks like the margin between the Sapphire necklaces and the Games necklaces is pretty good. And as you can see, we are plowing through some of these early magic levels. You can also go and cast some strike spells on creatures. That is another decent way to do this, but I think this might actually be a little bit faster XP per hour, and we really just want to unlock some of those teleport spells because it'll help a good bit. Okay, there's all 100 amulets turned into Games necklaces. That got us up to 15 magic fairly quickly, and now let's sell these boys real quick and see if we turned a decent little bit of profit. I don't know exactly what they'll quick sell at, but I really do want to quick sell them, as I'd rather just level my magic up. So we got 87,500, and 100 Cosmic Runes cost us 14,000 plus the 66,000, and it looks like we made probably just about 7,000 gold off making all 100 of those. And really the goal of this is not to make money. I want to get up to at least level 21 magic so that we can cast low level alchemy, and I'll show you guys a really good method to level up your magic passively with that. Alright, there's another 200 done. It looks like we made 13,000 gold on the dot from those 200, which is not too bad, and we got up to 22 magic, which is above the 21 goal we had. So you could keep doing this honestly until you get up to 27 magic, and then you'll be able to cast level 2 enchant, so you get even more XP by casting that on emerald jewelry, and maybe more profit. I don't know what the margins are on there. Like I said, you'll really have to check them because they fluctuate very often. But since we can cast high alchemy now, we want to buy a Staff of Fire, and then we're going to want to buy some nature runes, and this makes it so that we can cast low level alchemy on stuff, and this turns items into golds. We're going to want to find things with good margins so we won't lose too much money. This website here called CalcuSource, oh, you can't see it, I just realized I have it cut off from the top there, but CalcuSource here has a best items to alch calculator here, and it checks out the Grand Exchange prices and tells you exactly how much money you'll make or lose. Now this is with high alchemy, which is a spell we won't get till 55. Low alchemy gives a little bit less gold, but it's still a reliable way to see how much money you'll be making or losing. So I think what I'm actually going to do is the iron plate bodies here, since the loss is pretty minimal and it is a cheap item and we don't have a lot of gold to go off of. So let's buy 400 of these, and then we'll buy 400 nature runes. I think there might be a buy limit actually on the iron plate bodies of 125, so we're actually going to have to buy a couple different items. But yeah, we're going to alch 400 things and see what magical we end up with, and we're going to train our agility at the same time. So we're here in Draenor Village, and since we got up to level 10 agility from those quests, we can actually do the Draenor Village agility course right off the bat, and we're going to do this until we hit level 20 agility. And the whole time we're doing this, every time we do an agility obstacle, we're going to alch an item and then go to the next one, and that'll give us 31 magic XP as we go along. There it is, 20 agility from the Draenor Village course, and we got to almost 31 magic just by casting low alchemy while we were running around this place. And now that we're 20, we can go do a certain quest that I wanted to do. Some dude just dropped like 1,000 snakeskin on the ground at the GE, and there's an easy 14k. You know, stuff just happens sometimes. Actually, I think I'm going to end today off, unfortunately ending on the not the most exciting note. We're 228 total with just over 450,000 XP, and we have a bank value of about 212k. So we didn't make a ton of headway on making money today, but we have laid the groundwork with a lot of the quests we've completed. Wintertodt didn't pan out too much, so personally I'm not even going to recommend going for that. But in the next part, I have some very clear set goals of what we're going to do. So tomorrow, let's start grinding towards that and see how much money we can make. Thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.